Alright, this is Skyler with snowmanfarrier.com, and I want to do a quick video for you guys just about some of the myths that I hear my clients talk about with the application of shoes. It seems like a lot of people want their horses to go barefoot, and I'm all for barefoot, but at times a horse physically cannot go barefoot. It's going to cause them more harm than good. So I just wanted to try to debunk some of the myths and explain to you how the foot works through a dissection that I recently did with a professor from Cal Poly, so that hopefully you can get a little bit better understanding of some of the myths about applying shoes to feet and understand that it's really not that big of a danger, and that it's not detrimental to the horse at all, but that it aids and assists in keeping the horse comfortable. So what I wanted to show you was right here. I have a completely skinned leg, and you can see this is the hoof wall that attaches to the outer rim of this specific foot. Now you can see approximately how thick this wall is, before I removed it. It's a little bit thinner here at the heels, a little thicker here at the toe. And you can tell that, this material is very similar to, your fingernail, and there's no blood. You can see that there's no blood absorption at all. There's no blood vessels really traveling to this until we get into the lamina. And the lamina is a fiber that connects, the inner part of the hoof capsule to the outer part of the hoof capsule. Okay? So a lot of the myth that we get from applying horseshoes is that there's a toxicity of the nails, or the acid in the nails that we nail to the hoof wall gets absorbed into the foot and causes the feet to be unhealthy. That simply is just totally, completely ridiculous and not true. And here's the reason why. The hoof wall literally has no blood running to it, and so when we apply these nails, we're applying it into the hoof wall. We're not coming into the inner part of the foot. If we were to be, applying the nails to the inner sole of the foot, then yeah, we would have problems far worse than the toxicity of the nails. But instead, we're applying it to the outer part of the wall. And so the nail being in the outer part of the wall, it'd be like you saying that you wearing a wedding band, you're going to absorb the toxicity of the steel through your skin, or you wearing earrings is going to cause you to absorb the toxicity of the steel through your earlobes, and cause necrotic material and cause bacteria or fungus or whichever to form. So driving nails through the foot simply is not the case. There's no toxicity that's getting absorbed here. The other thing that we hear about shoes is that they don't allow the frog to engage, and they cut and restrict blood flow to the foot. So there's another false. This is just another myth amongst horseshoeing. So this is the sole of this foot, and you can see attaches right here, and this is after the trim. Okay, so I want you to take note of where the frog sits, if I can get it to focus, where the frog sits according to the plane of the wall. Okay, so you can see that the frog is still above the plane of the wall, and this is even after this frog has been trimmed. And I'll post some pictures of this foot before I had trimmed it for the dissection. And so then, I'll take a piece of stock, approximately what I would apply. So this is just a piece of bar stock that I make shoes out of, and you can see if we place this on the foot, we're still going to have engagement of the frog. See how the frog still sits above the line of the shoe? So if you were riding your horse in an arena, in some sort of dirt or sand arena, this frog is still going to get engaged. Now, too much pressure on the frog is going to cause too much pressure on the bottom of this foot. And you can see, this is all live tissue underneath this frog. And so too much pressure on the frog is going to actually restrict blood flow and cause more problems. So we can't have too much pressure on the frog, but we do want to have the frog engaged. So horseshoes aren't going to have a negative impact on that. The other myth that I might want to cover with applying shoes and leaving your horse barefoot is that it deforms the feet or doesn't allow the feet to grow naturally. But really, I just want to explain the real purpose of the shoe. So when we have this ring of hoof wall around the bone of this foot, the hoof wall is going to stick down below this sole, right? And we're going to have this rim all the way around of hoof wall around this foot. And that rim is absolutely crucial for that horse to walk on. It has to be able to walk on that, because if it's walking on its sole, then it's putting pressure on the coffin bone. You can see we have a tendon. This tendon comes all the way down and around, and it's going to insert right about here. So if we started peeling this back, there's a tendon that inserts here. We have coffin bone, we have live tissue and nerves and blood vessels. So anytime a horse is walking on its sole, and you can see in this horse, you know, the professor that I dissected this foot with was interested in the spotting on the bottom of the sole, saying that it was probably from pressure being applied, and you can see that spotting came through on the bottom of the foot as well. And so that pressure will make a horse lame. So in order for a horse not to be lame, it has to be walking on its wall. Okay, so the wall has to be below the plane of the foot. So in order for that to happen, the horse has to be able to grow enough hoof to keep its sole off the ground. Now, if your horse is working so much to the point that it's wearing all of the wall away, and it gets to this point to where it's walking on its sole, then we need to apply a horseshoe. And what that horseshoe is going to do is it's going to protect this wall so that it can grow as fast as the foot is wearing it away. Okay, so horseshoes are, you know, it's not like they're a necessary evil. They're not an evil at all. A horseshoe is simply a artificial hoof wall that we're applying to the bottom of the foot. And a common misconception of why they're bad is, you know, you can cause a lot of distortion and problems in this capsule if the shoes you're applying do not match the circumference of this coffin bone inside this foot. And so it's important to get good at blacksmithing and making shoes and learning how to really work the anvil so that you can make shoes that fit this circumference. Because if you cheat this circumference at all, it's going to reflect in the shape of the hoof wall. And so the closer you are to building this shape in your shoes and attaching it to the hoof wall, you know, the straighter and healthier things are going to grow. And so that's probably why a lot of misconception has come out with horseshoes being having a negative impact, is because shaped incorrectly and applied incorrectly, they can have a negative impact. But shaped correctly and applied correctly, it's really, you know, the closest thing to the natural foot, you know, other than being barefoot itself. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully that helped. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and, you know, submit them in the comments below. I'll try to answer any questions you send my way. You can go to my website, sonomafarrier.com. You can send me questions there. It's Skyler@sonomafarrier.com. If you email me, yeah, anything I can do to help you guys out. So hope you're having a great Monday, and we will talk to you soon.